Hello everybody, welcome back to Arthenex Plays Renowned Explorers. So I'm pleased to say that the response to the first video series on Renowned Explorers that I posted has been very positive, and it has encouraged me to make a second series. So I'm just going to continue to play this by ear. We'll do it one expedition at a time, or one adventure at a time, or whatever one whole complete game of this is at a time. And as long as people are still interested in it, I'll keep making videos of it. I will say that since the last video, I have played a ton of this game. I knew I was going to love it, and I really do. I really, really enjoy playing it. So I played it through a bunch off camera. I've unlocked, well, let's just go ahead and I'll hit new game here. So we'll do adventure mode. As you can see, I've unlocked all of the characters as captains. I haven't played them all as captains, but I have played quite a few of them as captains. I have beaten the game twice. The first time I kind of was cheesed my way through the last battle. The second time was a totally legitimate, straight up encounter. I won't talk about the cheesy thing that happened unless it comes up again in this game. So because it's a really cool like encounter that happens in the game, and I don't want to spoil it for you guys if you haven't seen it yet. But the end result was it just let me totally cheese my way through the last battle, which was not as satisfying as beating it legitimately, I admit. But nevertheless, I have since beat it legitimately. So let's see. I haven't even really thought about what team I want to put together here. Well, let's do a run with the team that I actually beat the game legitimately with. So that was Emilia as a captain. Let's see. And my two... I had Charles and I had Harry. Those are my three characters. Although now that I look at this, I realize that two of these three were in the first video series. So maybe I should do a different series. Well, this is the... let's do a different one. Well, we were aggressive last time, if I recall, in my video series. So let's do a friendly campaign. So for my friendlies parties, I like to run with Hildegard as a captain because I really like this bonus, 2 to 6 research from campaign. And let's go ahead and do Agatha. I'm pretty fond of her. And for, let's see, what are the recommendeds here? She says Philippe and Victor. You probably want somebody like defensive. Let's see. Do we want Victor or do we want Jean-Pierre? Let's do Victor. So we'll do these three. So this is we're going to be mostly friendly, although we have the ability to be a little bit devious and a little bit aggressive if we need to be. Hildegard provides us, and Hildegard and Victor both provide some healing, although Victor's healing comes really late. And actually, now that I look at it, I think I'm going to go with Jean-Pierre instead. He gets the... he gets the inspiring attack right away. He doesn't have a good friendly... He doesn't get peace treaty until very late. So he doesn't have a good friendly move. But he's got a good devious move, which can work just as well. And we got some pretty good diversity in our moves here. We don't have this in rage, but since we're not going to be physical, that shouldn't matter. All right, so let's try this. I will say I have definitely determined a hierarchy of the talents of which ones I like and which ones I don't. Just really quickly, I'll just give you my impressions of them right now, and you can tell me how wrong I am. For scientist talents, you've got 3. You've got archaeologist, you've got naturalist, and you've got engineer. I think archaeologist is by far the most useful. Engineer is a distant second, and naturalist is almost completely worthless. It's all in my opinion, of course. For scouts, you've got survivalist, quick thinker, and rogue. Survivalist is definitely the best of those 3. Rogue is not bad, and quick thinker is not that great. It hardly ever comes up. Comes up every once in a while. For fighter, you've got athlete, tactician, and is that it? I guess that's it. Athlete and tactician. Both of those are pretty good, actually. I like athlete a little bit better, but tactician is quite good too. And then for diplomat, you've got diplomat, or for speaker, you've got diplomat and you've got beguiler. I think diplomat is a little better, but beguiler is not bad. So that kind of gives you a rundown on my impressions of the traits in the games that I played so far. All right, well that's enough. That's enough preamble. Let's go ahead and get this started. And we got Hildegard. We don't have a scout on this team, which means we're going to want to get somebody else, probably the fighter. The survivalist skill. But for right now, we're going to start with the Viking ship. And we got a choice of 2 encounters right away. Awesome. I guess we'll do this one first. Some cuddly sheep are fond of the crew and keep surrounding you. It makes it hard to move, and you have to do something. All right, so we want to be friendly, which is fine. Most of us are good at being friendly. So we get an extra encounter token for being friendly. Let's start with what this crew does not have a ton of, actually, is area of effect attacks. She's the only one who's going to have them. Hers are going to be pretty good, but area effect attacks, I think, are one of the keys to making a really strong run. Still, we'll do the best we can. We got a lot of healing in this party. Or at least a decent amount of healing. I'd say a ton. All right, let's go ahead and we'll just have to kill these guys one at a time. So Satin does have a range of 2. So we'll move him all the way up to here, and he can Satin one of the sheep. And that will leave us still friendly. And you can move up here, and maybe we'll impress the back one. She's like the school teacher. She's got, she's got the A+ for the impress and the I don't know, it's like a C- for the terrify. It tells you what our school system is like if C- is the worst grade anybody gets. All right, so go ahead and finish this off with an impress. And that gives us our extra. Our friendly approach has proven its worth. They actually liked my jokes. Awesome. You are a true friend of the animals. The sheep follow you, but Jean-Pierre teaches them not to get in the way. Jean-Pierre even gives the cutest sheep a name, Woolly Hildegard. Yeah, I'm sure Hildegard loves that. All right, we got something odd here. In the first adventure, that usually means a random, or not random, but one of a few selected free traits. So let's go grab that. The crew finds a great place to set up camp and rest a little. Your mixed crew keeps itself busy by doing all the things they love. Agatha looks around curiously while Hildegard writes in her little notebook. Your crew has a well-balanced skills and interests. All right, so we get 1 campaign and 1 study for that. At night, everyone sits around the campfire. They tell all kinds of stories. The stories were interesting and exciting, but the best story was... So this is going to give us the storyteller perk, which is a beguiler perk. So we want to give that to our speaker because you want to give perks to the class they normally belong to, because oftentimes when you want to resolve conflicts that require those perks, you get an extra bonus if you're the right class and have the right perk. So we could give the Beguiler to anybody, but we want to give it to the speaker. So we'll give it to Hildegard. Hildegard told a scary story about a group of teen explorers stuck in a Scottish Highlands manor. The crew was absolutely terrified. So Hildegard's the crew's storyteller. After a remarkable good night of sleep, the crew is ready to continue. They're happy they got to know each other better. They really know who to go to if they want to hear a good story. Hildegard. So that gave her Beguiler storytelling. All right, so here's the supplies. This will give us 3 supplies on the first mission, which will take us right back up to 7. So let's go up and grab those. Okay, so they gave us 3 supplies. Since there's nothing here, this is probably the hidden hoard. So let's go back and grab that. Yep, that's the hidden hoard. So I always choose between discovery and status. I think I'm going to go discovery. We don't have a lot of study tokens so far. Let's go ahead and go here. The treasure's here, so we'll definitely want to loop back around and grab that. A bonus treasure. The crew comes across an old book describing an abandoned chest. Written inside are many poems describing local folklore. Interesting for science, and will surely help you speak more poetically. But Agatha sees there is more to this book than meets the eye, because she's an archaeologist. Scribbled on the book are notes about Viking history never written down before. This is a most intriguing find. That's why you take an archaeologist with you. All right, so we got 2 campaign and 3 study. So we could go back for this encounter. And 5 supplies left. 1, 2, 3, 4. But we couldn't make it to the end of the mission. Oh, that is the end of the mission. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So we could just barely make it to the end of the mission. But I don't really have that much interest in this spot. So I think I'm going to pass up this encounter and move this way instead. Sometimes you're just lucky. Jean-Pierre was getting pretty bored as Hildegard was planning the next step and started picking up pebbles to skim in a lake. By chance, Jean-Pierre's 5th pebble was actually an old Viking coin. A small sack of coins is lying nearby. Okay, let's go up here. The crew is walking through a seemingly boring landscape. Suddenly, Agatha finds a small piece of iron. It looks like a broken Viking sword. The Sioux starts investigating the area to see if there's more. This is an ancient Viking battlefield. Hildegard imagines the wondrous treasure that is to be found here, not to speak of the fame awaiting you for such a prestigious discovery. Hildegard ponders what to do next. The crew goes on and starts looking around like true explorers. After 40 minutes or so of investigation, Agatha finds something. So we got 40% chance of a shield, 30% of helmet, 20% of skull, and 10% of sword. So depending on your leader, sometimes you'll be able to pick what to look for. In this case, we didn't. She wants to be famous, so she automatically went looking for the shield. Doesn't mean we'll get the shield, obviously, but we have a better chance of getting it. And we didn't get it. We got the helmet, which gave us 5 encounter, which is a really good early reward, because encounter... Well, a good find, a fine treasure to take home. With the battlefield truly stripped of secrets, the crew can continue. What an amazing day to be a renowned explorer. Yeah, that's a lot of encounter tokens, so that's going to give us a lot of gold and renown. All right, we got 3 moves left, so we can go around this way or we can go around this way. We have no idea which way is better or worse, so flip a coin. Hildegard gets a little bit of a bonus for campaign. Let's see. If we go this way, we can go 1, 2, and then that's free. If we go this way, we go 1, so 2, 1, 0. So there's no way for us to use the bonus move. So let's go here. You descend a hill and walk past a magnificent grave. You read the stone. Here lies Bjornwulf of Mercia, king of Mercia. Under his reign, the Abbey of St. Peter was built. Those of you who have been watching my King Arthur series might recognize the name of Mercia. Bjornwulf met his end at the hands of King Egbert's army in 826 AD. May. St. Peter watch over his skull. All right, 2 bonus campaign, which gives us a little bit of research because of Hildegard's special ability. And we can go here. The crew finds a place that looks like it might contain an old settlement. By carefully excavating the area, the crew makes some small find. Vikings trinkets of times long past. So we got one campaign and one study. And we're out of food. So we can go here and... Yeah, the Viking boat must be nearby. Once you get there, this expedition will come to an end. Yeah, we're basically out of food. So it might not have been worth skipping that encounter because we didn't really find anything up here. But, oh well. Onwards. The crew searches the hills and dales thoroughly until you spot it in the distance, an intact Viking boat. The crew rushes towards this amazing find. It will surely skyrocket your reputation at the renowned Explorers Society, except the crew is stopped by a familiar face, the French explorer Rivelo, #1 in the most promising explorers rankings. He laughs. Thank you, amateur. How very lucky you are here to find this Viking boat just after me. Under Rule 24B of the Explorer Mandate, fellow explorers should help each other out, and I really need this treasure to affirm my #1 position. Your help will not be forgotten. Well, maybe. Wait, this is our treasure, Rivelo continues. It seems my explanation wasn't clear enough. Maybe my strong friend Tommy can explain the situation better. Before Hildegard can stop Rivelo, the crew fighter Tommy steps forward. Little explorers, I need to explain to you something. He's not letting you pass. Alright, so since we're fighting the fighter, we can get an extra permanent +1 attack for all of our characters if we defeat him aggressively. We don't get a bonus, but we don't really get a penalty if we defeat him these two. At least I don't think we do. So we might try and defeat him aggressive. We kind of want to be devious for most of the fight and then maybe finish aggressive. We'll see, because our characters are not... Most of them have better social attacks than physical attacks. So I'm going to go ahead and start by eliminating these two sidekicks here. So she just has melee. So I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to send him back to sat in the back one. And that'll get us into devious mood, which will give us our +25 grit. And then we can have her use impress on this one, and that'll only give us 2 friendly tokens. So we'll still be in devious. We don't want to go to friendly because then we'll have a bunch of lowered armor. Her armor is not that great, but this is the first adventure. So we can have her... Yeah, we'll just have her terrify. And that... I'm not sure how it works. Yeah, C-. It's the worst grade you can get, apparently. Yeah, so that... I think it's because we actually killed him with Devious that it removed a token, but I'm not sure. Sometimes using a ability of the current mood removes one of the other tokens, and sometimes it doesn't. Okay, so he can't quite make it to us. She misses, thanks to the +25 grit that we have. That's good. Okay. So her... Let's see. Is her try to terrify going to be enough? It always hits. But yes, it is enough damage. Okay, so we'll have her do that. It's only 75% speech, so sometimes it might not be enough damage. And that means you... Let's see. Your Satin has a range of 2. So let's go ahead and finish taking out all of the minions. So you can go up here and Satin this guy. And that leaves you here to terrify this guy. Okay, so we're now solidly devious. If we want to finish this aggressive, we're going to have to go like all out combat in the last round, and we don't have an enrage, unfortunately. And her aggressive kind of sucks. So maybe what I'll have her do is you can use the impress. And then you actually have decent armor. You can come up here and... yeah, go ahead and physically attack him. He has pretty good... he has armor, but no... yeah, speech defense, so... and then you... I would prefer not to lose resolve at this early juncture. 2, 3. What's your speed? Your speed is 3. So no matter where I move, I can't be sure of getting away from him. But I probably... this game uses a little bit of an aggro system. So if I run away, the fact that the other two attacked... okay. Well, I can't say that was ideal, but could have been worse. Alright, so we'll have you attack. We'll have you try and do that. You missed. It's unfortunate. But we're at hostile, so we'll get the free point of permanent attack. I'm going to have you run away again. Alright, I'll probably attack him. Yeah, which is fine. So we can finish him off. So you use your ore. And... we're actually not quite an aggressive yet. So we have to have her try and finish him off aggressive. Which she did. She not missed twice in a row. If she had missed, there's a small chance he could have gotten knocked out. But I think it's the 80%. It's worth the risk. So we get the aggressive victory. Tommy is pretty impressed. You're strong, pretty impressive, but now I have to go. You deserve this treasure map for your victory. And he leaves to follow Rivalo, who has already disappeared into the Viking ship. So we got 2 campaign, and we got our attack permanently increased by 1. You're left with a cryptic treasure map. Its meaning is pretty cryptic. The treasure map is passed around. After investigating it, the crew shares their interpretations of the treasure map. So... I don't know necessarily what the results are of this. It's going to give us a skill roll. Let's try this, because I'd like to get some more research benefits. Following Agatha's advice, the crew conducted research in the area where the longship used to be. The crew carefully follows the clues and bits left behind and manages to find something. Yeah, so that gave us 2 study. So actually maybe I should have done renown because we get bonuses from status. We got that Nordic, but this gave us 6 campaign and 2 collect, so we got the campaign tokens anyway. With this last find, your expedition still concludes on a high note. However, it's clear that if you want to be the most renowned explorer, you'll have to beat Rivalo. Now it's personal. Alright, so that finishes off the first adventure. We got friendly status for that. Probably not by a lot, since we were mostly devious and aggressive in the last fight. We got 257 gold, 386 status, 138 research, 179 renown. That's a pretty good haul for the first adventure, actually. Not a lot of renown. We are a sympathetic scientist. A magnificent job. The Board of Renowned Explorers International Society is impressed with your exploration skills in the Highlands. For this achievement, Chairman Pinkerton gives you an upgrade to your airship. Right, so that gives us our supply capacity upgraded to 10. And then we'll skip the tutorial messages. Alright, so let's start by leveling up our guys. Actually, I'll hold off on that. Take that back. I'm going to start by spending our research. So I've decided... what I like to do in my priority list for spending research is first get field rations. This field rations is really good. Now we're only going to be able to unlock 1 more. And our options are +1 insight or 4 to 6 research per encounter. Both of these are really good. In fact, we have a fighter in our group. Let's see, we're going to be 12 research short of unlocking the 5th one. Can we get, let's see, how much research do we get per study? 4 to 6. Because what happens is if I'm in this situation, oftentimes All right, so this, she can get 3 study. She can get 4 study. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to spend an insight, and I'm going to get... Normally I like to save my insight until I get the better job locations unlocked, but spending 1 insight here will allow us to get an extra unlock. And if that extra unlock gives us an extra insight on our next expedition, then it's like a free... It's basically like a free job. In a way, although basically what I used that for was to unlock this, because this is also 4 to 6 research from encounter is also really good. Okay, so then let's take a look at what we got in our entourage shop here. So we're going to be friendly, and we want campaign tokens. So Piotr Ilyich is a perfect fit for our party, so we're going to grab him. And then, since we have a bunch of extra status, these guys, I think, at least the first 2 versions of that will pay for themselves with the extra status you get, especially if we go to the Hungarian forest, which is, I think, is where we're going to go. Then, let's see. So I think we'll save the rest of our status. I don't really like students. We're not going to get that many collect tokens in the next mission. And I don't want to spend the upgrade here because we're going to upgrade our shop and that for 40% less after our next mission. So I think we will not spend the rest of our status. We'll save it. Okay, now let's take a look at our upgrades here. So he can get archaeologist. We already have an archaeologist, so we don't need him to get it. So he'll grab that. She can get tactician or archaeologist. Getting to level 4 archaeologist is really good if you go to Egypt. So we're going to go ahead and have her unlock the 3rd level of archaeologist. And we want him to get naturalist. And there's a very complicated reason for that, which I'm not going to go into right this second, but maybe later on in the video, if we get far enough in the game, it will come up. But we want him to get the survivalist. So we'll go ahead and just buff her diplomat. Okay. All right. And then we just have to spend gold. So I think these 2 are really solid early purchases, personally. So we'll give him the compass. That gives him a little bit extra survivalist. And we will give her the wrench. That gives her a little bit of engineering. So since scientist normally goes with engineering, that's a perfect fit. We don't have a scout, but we really do want somebody with survivalist. So that's going to work out. That leaves us with 57 gold. We could buy some cheap armor, but I think we'll hold off on that. And we're still doing great on time. So I'm going to go ahead and see if we can power through. Well, probably won't make it all the way through Hungary. You know, I take it back. I'm just going to end this episode here. So in the next episode, we will go to the Hungarian fort. So thanks for watching. I'm sorry this is a little bit of a short episode, but I think this is such a natural stopping point that it makes sense. I will see you guys in the next episode, and until then, have a terrific day.